from start to finish. So what I have for you today is just a new home orientation with some real simple general information about the home. So as we're going along, if you have any questions, just feel free to stop.
Great.
All right, good. So we have provided you with your mailbox stand, so you're ready to rock and roll there. Okay, so have you guys worked with pressurized irrigation before, or the sprinkler system?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So at this point, we are still on pressurized irrigation. So I've went ahead and set your sprinkler clock. Your grass is well established. So at this point, we're watering every other day of the week. So on Monday, off Tuesday, on Wednesday. 5 minutes on zone 1.
Okay.
Because they're pop-ups. And then Rainbird heads over here, we're going 10 minutes.
Okay.
So we're going at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. So you guys are able to adjust that to the clock, to whatever works best for your schedule and your mowing schedule.
Great.
And we'll take a look at that when we get inside.
All right.
Okay, good. So out front in your planter is where your sewer cleanout is. So if something were to go down the toilet that isn't supposed to be there, that's where master rooter or rotor rooter would come snake that line.
Okay. So the Barbie doll will be right there?
That's where they'll push it out of there.
Okay.
Alrighty. So on the side of your home, a couple things will get you out back. Alright, so on the side of your home, Dasco is a company that works directly with Intermountain Gas, and they run a joint trench. So they run your gas line, a hollow line for your cable, and then a line here for your phone. Okay, so if you have the satellite group or cable group come out and hook you up on the side of the garage, they'll tie into all the lines that our electricians have ran. Okay, if you do and have a satellite group come out and install, ask them a lot of questions. In the past, we've had those groups come out and drill through the roof and create leaks. So really dig your heels in and ask those questions. Are you going to use a roof butyl? And make sure you see what they're going to do. It is your property, so hold the line with those people. Okay, good. All right. So on the side of your home, at your AC unit, this is the AC disconnect. Okay. So with this plug out, it's safe for a service tech to come out and actually pull this unit apart and work on that unit. Okay. It also has an option here so you can turn this plug over and plug it back in. As long as off is showing, it gives you that opportunity to cover the unit up in the winter time to protect it from any of that ice. So what it's going to do is going to force you to physically come out in the springtime, uncover that unit, make sure there's no issues with it, turn it over, and then plug it back in.
Great.
Okay. Any other questions with that unit?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, so your foundation vents are in the open position right now. So that's a good position to leave them throughout the summer months and maybe even this early fall. Once the temperatures start to drop, it's a good idea to come out and actually close those foundation vents, okay, all the way around the home. That's going to help keep that cooler air out. And then reminding yourself, whether it's on your desktop or on your phone or just a note on the fridge, to remember to open those foundation vents once springtime comes. Okay. So we have marked all of your property boundaries for you, so the one in the front and the one here in the back. So when you go to install your fence, utilize the plot map that I've left in the drawer to the right of the range on your city plans that we've used. If you install it yourself, or if you pay a landscape group, make sure you border that property so that you know your fence is going to go on your property line. Okay. If there's any question whatsoever, go ahead and get a hold of our sales office, and they'll get a hold of me, and I'll call you, and we'll make sure we get that finished. So is this similar to what you're using right now, your pressurized irrigation?
Yep.
You got your valve boxes?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Once again, if you have questions as you're living here, just get a hold of me. If something looks a little different, I'll come out.
Yeah, luckily we were renting one two blocks away,
Okay.
so I know how everything works.
Good. All right, very good. So any other questions around the outside before I get you in the garage and get you inside? Nope. All right, good. On to you guys. You guys can close next week. Uh-oh. We'll get you. Oh no.
Let's take your shoes off. Yeah, we gotta go to we're gonna close it out today.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm off to Costco. They wouldn't give me the day off.
Jeez. Well, you're not too far.
No.
All right, so your electrical panel, we have labeled everything on the electrical panel, on the left and right to what it goes to. Great. Extreme Electric has provided their contact information. So within that first year, if there's any sort of emergencies, whether it's an evening, weekend, or holiday, they've provided an emergency contact number for you. Okay. So on your garage door opener, I've put the openers to the right of the range along with the rest of that information we spoke about a moment ago. Okay. So there's two remotes there. Your keyless entry pad is 2468 enter. That will get you access to your garage. And as you open the lid up, there's actually directions on there that explain how we program that to a better go for you.
Great.
Okay. Alright, so this GFCI protected outlet will control your sprinkler clock, all the outside outlets, and also your garage door opener. So in the event that one of those appliances isn't working, just come here and get that reset.
Okay.
And then this should be pretty similar to the clock that you have now.
Exact same.
Okay, perfect start time, run time, and watering days, and we're all set up right now.
Great.
Okay, good. We have been overwatering the yard quite a bit, so when it comes time to mow, probably shut the water off for a day or two.
Okay.
Ground dry, so you don't get you. Okay, so Icon Air has provided your heating and cooling system. So that furnace is up in the attic, so there is no reason to get up inside there unless you're going to have a service tech come out and do a yearly maintenance on that.
Nice.
So there is a switch up there along with the GFCI protected outlet and a switch to turn that furnace on and off.
Okay.
The filters are in the return air grills, and we'll take a look at those when we get upstairs.
Great.
Okay. And all your information for those systems are right here. Shiloh Plumbing's also provided a contact sticker for your hot water heater. The unit's been lit for you. On the dial below, it's at 120 degrees, so that's the safe temperature, so it won't get scalded out of that faucet. There's also lighting instructions on that tank.
Okay.
All right. See, so this is your drain and line for your water softener loop line. So if you guys choose to install a water softener unit, that's where a qualified plumber will come and tie into those lines.
Great.
Okay. Good. So above us is our transformer for the doorbell chime, and that just produces a firefly doorbell.
Oh, okay.
So any other questions around the outside or in the garage before we head inside?
Now everything looks good and squared away.
Very good. If you'd like, we'll head on in, and I always like to start in the masters. Hey, Brian. Very nice.
So excited.
Yeah. The little ones are probably excited too, huh? I always get all
Yeah,
pumped
yeah.
up for this kind of stuff. Alright, so attic access, that's where you'll access that furnace.
Okay.
Okay. So all the extra carpet scraps we've left behind, they are in the same dialogue, so hanging on to those for that first year, in the event there's any sort of burns or tears, that's something those carpet groups can come back and do a really nice job repairing.
Great.
Any questions, concerns in here?
No, I think it's perfect. Great.
Let's see, so all the silicones throughout the home. So the silicone at your bathtub and at your backsplash is a product that CBH Home is able to warranty for that first 60 days. But the more water that gets splashed on, it's just our responsibility to keep that water wiped out.
Okay, great.
Okay, so above us is one of our return air filters. All right, and then we also have one right out in the loft. So the sizes of the filters are on the side. This is a 12 by 12 by 1, and the one in the loft is a 20 by 20 by 1.
Okay.
So we've changed the filters at the term date, which has been a couple weeks ago. So when you guys get moved in, it might be a good idea to change those, and then get yourself on a schedule of every 3 to 6 months. Okay. So by pulling the 2 tabs, the panel will open. It'll allow you to take it down, and then you can clean those fins on the outside with the vacuum, or change the filters.
Okay.
And as we talked about outside, all the phones and cables have already been pre-ran. So once those groups come out, they'll hook you hooked up on site.
Great.
All right, very good. Good. All right, you guys, we'll just head over to the laundry room. Now, I like your upgraded doors.
Oh, aren't they
Yeah,
great?
Yeah. And the advantage of playing any sort of little subtle change really changes
It
a lot.
really does.
I guess it could turn out very nice. All right, so the very first thing we always like to talk about in a two-story where there's a laundry room is siliconing the baseboard down to the floor all the way around with just a clear translucent silicone, and then pushing that back underneath there with a sponge. What that's going to do, along with maybe possibly purchasing a laundry tray for the washer and dryer, it's going to keep that water inside the room. So in the event that there is a leak, it's going to trap it in here, and hopefully you guys will step in it and get it cleaned up before it sneaks down and creates a bigger issue.
All right.
All right. Are you bringing newer appliances in? Or
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Brand new.
All right, good.
Yeah.
So water line hookup should come with a big zip tie. If not, utilize the zip tie and tie that cold line off so it physically forces that line to stay down in the hole.
Okay.
Okay.
Then your dryer plug's a 4-prong, so that should be up to speed. All right,
Great.
very good. I'll go that way in there. So the grills above the doors are just fresh air makeup grills. So that's part of that manual J heating and cooling system.
Okay.
So everything's designed and balanced for you. So with those doors closed, it's still allowing that heat and AC to circulate
Great.
throughout them.
We can hear kind of what's going on with the kids too.
Oh, heck
There's
yeah. Yeah. They'll be loud enough as is.
Yeah.
They're always up to no good.
Oh, yeah. We quickly forget that we were once like that.
Oh, yeah.
Not me, I'm still like that.
Yeah. Nice. Good. All right, any other questions in here?
Nope.
All right, good. If you like, we'll go into the hall bath.
Good call, good choice.
Yeah.
And this is our other return air grill here.
Okay.
All right, so throughout your home, all the tile in your home has not been sealed yet. So that'll just fall under that yearly maintenance homeowner to do.
Gotcha.
Okay. So purchasing a inexpensive masking tape and mask off your counter and your wall, and just purchasing a grout and tile sealer,
Okay.
hanging onto that, and then sealing that once a year
Okay.
before you get any toothpaste, makeup, syrup, or something.
Where to next?
Just up to the front.
Where did you get lost?
Yeah, I know. This is awesome. I like the big bench seat. Yeah, check it out. So in our pantry that Mike's working out of here today, we've left all your interior and exterior paint colors. So as you're living in the home, if you were to ding the wall in the move-in, or just once again that yearly maintenance of just touch-up, you'll have all that paint to match. And then on your job runner, or your spec sheet that you guys chose everything to that we built the home off of, that would be where you would go to get your colors if you need any extra colors. So that would be the start. And we'll also provide you with that subcontractor sheet of all the groups who have done work and provided things in your home. So you have multiple options of ways to find out information.
Okay, great.
Yeah, please. So on your windows, you do have a lifetime limited warranty against any seal breaks on your window. Okay.
Great.
Along with that, the windows are vinyl, so they're going to do a couple things. They're going to expand and contract with the different temperatures. So don't be alarmed when you see settling cracks around the edges.
Okay.
And with just those moving. So we've just utilized some caulking and that paint and touch-up kit.
Okay.
Okay. So when it comes to maintaining the windows, the manufacturer provides tabs here. So when you pull these tabs out, the balancers on the side of the windows actually get caught on the window, and you can remove those windows
Oh, nice.
so that you can maintain them. The best product to maintain those windows is just with the graphite spray.
Okay.
So Depot sells it, so it's a good product.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, great.
And then to put it back in, you'll take the bottom of the window above, slide it to the left, to the right, down on the window, and then it closes.
Great.
Okay? Hey Brian, I did the same thing I did last time.
What's that?
If you get it too high, it'll actually close the top piece. So Brian will fix it for us.
Okay.
I always do that.
I'm gonna watch just in case. I'm sure I'll do that too.
Okay, should be good.
See, I just took it out.
Gotcha.
And put that works.
Thanks, Brian.
Yep.
Sarah.
How's it
Hey,
going?
Sarah, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So your programmable thermostat, the instructions are on the thermostat to adjust it to whatever's comfortable for you guys. If you choose to just manually operate it up or down, you can do that as well too.
Okay.
Alright, good. And Icon Air's provided their information there as well.
Great.
Great. Good. Well, if you're happy and comfortable with everything upstairs, we'll head downstairs into the front.
Great.
Finish up. Alright, cheers.
How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing awesome. How are you guys?
Good. Thanks for coming out.
Absolutely. I figure I'm not really necessary here, but I was just
Hey, you got us in here.
Hi, Casey.
Casey before. It's nice to meet you. I know you meet a lot of realtors, but that's okay.
Alright, so along with your single hungs, your sliders also come out. So sliding those all the way back to the left past these stop blocks, they just lift up and you can take those out as well.
Okay.
So underneath the stairs is where our main water shutoff valve is.
That's important to remember.
So,
Yeah.
alright, so just below you is that water shutoff valve, just that ball valve. So in line with the pipe is on, and if you go ahead and grab that and pull it up, That'll be in the off position.
Okay.
So in the event of any sort of plumbing emergency, you'll just come here and get that shut off.
Okay.
Also, if you go out of town for a week or so, I always feel like it's a good idea to turn that off,
Okay.
flush all the toilets, relieve some pressure off those lines,
Okay.
and adjust that heat and AC appropriately. So in the event there is a leak, if you come home, you're not coming home to a flood.
Yeah.
Okay, so we would turn it off first and then flush the toilet?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And then also, along with that, if you have a plumber come out or if you decide to tackle that water softener unit yourself, has constant pressure on those lines. So turn this off, drain some of the lines, maybe turn the hose bib on. So that when you cut in that, you're not having water spraying everywhere.
Great.
Okay, great.
And I love the code change, so they made us start putting lights in it.
Nice.
My parents have a crawl space and they built a home like 5 years ago. And they're like, we had to ask to get a light. I'm like, ours comes with it.
They're crying.
That's funny, something so simple, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this GFCI protected outlet here on the wall is going to control the 2 outlets in the master and the 1 in the hall bath. So if a blow dryer, hair straightener, any sort of appliance isn't working, your sensitive has been tripped. The new ones have a green light on them, so you'll be able to tell if it's tripped or if it needs to be reset.
Great.
So your fireplace, have you guys worked with one of these units before?
No.
No, I just really needed one.
Yeah, they'll produce a lot of heat. Alright, so they're it's just a self-igniting unit. So once you turn the far right switch on, it'll actually start pulling the gas through the line. Okay? At that point it'll ignite it and the flame will come on as you see here. So the fan will not turn on until it gets to a certain temperature, and then it's going to start producing the heat out of the unit. Okay? Once you turn the switch off, the flame will go out, but that fan will stay on until it's at a good temperature to turn that fan off. Okay? By pushing these bottom areas here, actually open that unit up. So you have your gas ball valve shut off here. So if you choose to turn that in the off position, which is just crossways, you can do that if you're going out of town or just in the summer months. These units are, they don't have a standing pilot light on them, so they're not going to continually be fed gas. They're only going to need gas and require it when you turn the switch on. So leaving it on all the time, you can do that, but if it makes you feel more comfortable, you do have the option of turning it off. It might just take a little bit longer to pull that stagnant gas through the line. Okay? So once that fan's on, it'll sound like this. We do have a fan control if you'd like to turn it down or all the way off, or you can have it up all the way. Okay? Then there's a little bit of a flame control here, which lowers the flame or raises it just a little bit. Okay. Alright, so beyond that, no maintenance needed to it. This gets extremely hot, but you can clean the screen if you like.
Okay.
And then sealing your grout here as well. This tile won't need to be sealed, but just the grout well.
Okay. Great.
Okay. So in your pantry is where that touch-up kit is. That Mike's working that out. So hanging onto that inside, whether it's in a closet or in a garage, just keeping it somewhere where it's not going to freeze or just get damaged.
Okay.
So in your kitchen, so the same idea that we have upstairs with the laundry room is what we like to ask people to do here where the water line is for the refrigerator. So when you bring that fridge in, make sure you silicone the baseboard to the floor first.
Okay.
And then utilize a piece of carpet or a cardboard from the move and set that fridge on there. A lot of times what happens is we get friends or relatives in here helping us move and they try to muscle that fridge around and they tear that vinyl. Okay? So setting the fridge on that, hook up the water line, make sure there aren't any leaks or problems with it. Go ahead and push it back in there. Even when you decide to clean behind it as you're living here, set something down. They have the nice wheels on them. They might make an indentation in that vinyl. Okay.
So we have somebody bringing in a refrigerator, so should I ask him to silicone it?
So that's unfortunately something they won't do. That would just be your guys' responsibility.
Okay.
So if you'd like, you guys could do that beforehand.
Okay, it's a handyman, so he might.
Maybe he will.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I would probably ask.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Let's see. So these 2 GFCI protected outlets will control the kitchen and dining room. Okay. And we have ran and tested all of your appliances to make sure there aren't any leaks or problems with them. And as I mentioned before, we've left your appliance information here, along with a set of those city plans, your sink stoppers, your opener, and your cabinet touch-up kit. Okay. If you guys choose to eventually change this out to a microwave, it all vents the same. So it's a matter of just pulling a few screws down, putting your mounting bracket, and putting your microwave in there. Okay. Any questions so far?
Couple questions. We asked them to plumb for gas stove.
Yep.
that's behind there, it's all plumbed in. Just for there's a gym.
That fits there. Alright, let's see, so underneath of your kitchen sink, you do have a garbage disposal wrench. Okay, so if something were to go down in a garbage disposal that wasn't supposed to be there, or it just gets jammed, the unit's gonna hum when you turn it on, and then there's actual breaker. If you put your hand where mine is right there, there's a breaker right there. So that's actually gonna trip and pop out.
Okay.
At that point, you're gonna wanna go ahead and unplug the unit, give it 5 or 10 minutes to cool down a little bit.
Okay.
And then at that point, take this Allen wrench and put a dead center in the Allen bolt.
Okay.
You can manually turn the blades clockwise or counterclockwise till it frees whatever is in there up. Go ahead at that point, plug the unit back in and reset the breaker.
Okay.
And then you can start running the water in it and turn the breaker on, or turn the switch on, excuse me. But to prevent that from happening, just make sure you run the water down there before you start cranking it. Normally the little ones that people have done.
Watch for toys.
Oh yeah, you'll hear those all silver. Then you got your water shut-off valves underneath the sinks, and behind the toilets are just a ball valve as well.
Okay.
These cabinets. So any other questions or concerns you have before we get you to a few sign-offs, and then I'll introduce you how to rekey your door locks.
Everything looks top notch.
You're good? All right, so it looks like you guys signed a couple things already. Let's see, so next what we have is our subcontractor sheet. So this is a subcontractor sheet of all the groups who have done work and provided things as well. So you'll receive all this information you initially signed for us today. So you know once you get closed out.
Oh, great.
So as long as your hand doesn't touch the screen, you'll just sign with that style there. Date is 9/4/15.
That came out like
That's
kindergarten.
good. We'll have you the style points on the Oh, that's good. She got it under control right there.
I've signed so many documents, I'm like, I'm not spelling anything.
Alrighty. So next what we have is our new home orientation disclaimer sheet. Alright, so this is a little bit of information. So as you're living in the home, if you have questions, concerns, feel free to log onto our website. We're going to watch a video here in a moment that'll help you better understand. Okay? So first talks about utilizing our subcontractors for the first year, so it doesn't void that warranty. So the plumbing, heating, and electrical, we always like to hold those subcontractors accountable, and they want to be held accountable for their work. So please utilize that subcontractor sheet or the information in the garage.
Okay.
So laminate countertops, a couple things with this. Being as it's a compressed paper product, making sure we don't have any water standing on it for a long period of time, or don't take any hot griddles or pans, or be careful with the abrasive chemicals that you put on it. Okay. Next, we talked about our grout and tile has not been sealed yet, so it will be your responsibility to seal that once a year. So if you'll initial those for me, please, I'll scroll this down for us. So the one you initialed there is for, and one initial is good.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So landscaping, reads as is, so overwatering, underwatering, dead trees or shrubs just fall under homeowner responsibility. So we've got that grass established for you, we've adjusted those times. So if you have any questions on how to get that adjusted or paying attention to those times, once again, feel free to stay in contact with us or that landscaper. But at this point, I think we've got the watering times turned back enough so that you can manage it from there on out. Okay. So next, any damage caused by extreme weather or acts of God, just go back to homeowners insurance. Okay. If any products blow off of our job sites, that's something that we'll definitely step up and help you guys out with.
Okay.
Next is water management. So this may be something where it just becomes a civil discussion with your neighbor X and neighbor Y. If he's already watering Monday, you might need to adjust yours to Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, working with them. Once we're on pressurized irrigation out here, everybody tends to water as much as they'd like. So adjusting that watering times is going to be really important, and that's what we have going on out back here right now. It's a matter of just us overwatering to get that grass established.
Okay.
Next, grading of the yard. As you saw in your backyard, we've got a pretty aggressive slope out there, and that's just for us to keep water going away. We always like to use the mall analogy, where there's always big puddles everywhere, but they're away from the mall. So that's our goal. So if you bring in any more topsoil or dirt or do creative curbing, we when you put that backyard in, make sure we hold those sprinkler heads 18 inches to 2 feet away from that foundation to get the water going away or leak. Okay. Property pins and boundaries, we've marked all of those. There's actually new code in the Caldwell area where those pins actually have to be pulled up to grade before I can get a footing inspection. So I've located them, the city has. Now at this point, it's just your responsibility, as we mentioned before, to make sure that fence gets on the right property line. Right? Furnace maintenance is keeping those furnace filters changed every 3 to 6 months. Okay. And then rodents, pests, and insects, your responsibility to spray and maintain and keep out of the home.
Yeah.
Right. And then next is exterior painting. It will be your responsibility within that 5 to 7 year point of living in the home to just repaint that exterior of the home.
Okay.
All right. I'm good, Mike. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations, you guys.
Thank you very much.
So caulking, any of that interior, exterior settling, cracking, or caulking, this falls under homeowner maintenance and responsibility as we talked around the windows. Alright, and then please prevent from using any salts or de-icing chemicals on the concrete. Just show them when you're using a sand or a dry kitty litter product.
Okay.
Just signature date.
Is it 4?
Yes.
Kids like to keep us sleep deprivated.
You don't want to change that, you'll be even more tired. Alrighty, hold on to that. We have one more signature for you, please. So last is our new home orientation sign-off sheet. So this lets everyone know that we've been here today. We went room to room. We didn't find anything that we couldn't get rectified today. As long as the phone number and email address is correct for our office. What I need from you is just a physical check mark there, stating that we're going to watch your video, and then just a signature and date. Sure. Alright, so that's what we have before we go to the front door. Just watch this quick video. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Any questions pertaining to that video at all that I can answer for you today? None? Okay, good. Well, if you like, we'll head to the front door. I'd like to introduce you to Reiki Rolex.
Great. It's really fun. It's like ninja.
Alright, so at this point, your fire door coming from the garage into the home, and these two locks are on the construction key that you guys have possibly checked out. So our building department and all our subcontractor partners have this key, and that's how we access the home.
Okay.
So today I'm going to rekey the locks from that construction key over to a red key that you guys will get after you fund and report them. Okay? And that red key will get you access into the home.
Great.
Right? You'll also receive several sets of silver keys, and those will be your homeowner keys. The difference is just the cut on the key. Okay? You'll also receive one of these smart keys that comes with a booklet that's pretty verbatim to what I'm going to go over right now. Okay? So the process will go is you'll take your red key, you'll put it in, and you'll turn it directly to the right. By leaving the red key in that position, you'll take the smart key and press it in until it clicks or bottoms out. Then you'll remove the smart key. You'll remove the red key in the same position. What you've done is you've just suspended the tumblers inside of the lock away from the cut of that red key. Now the instructions that the lock is waiting for is for you to take your silver key with an entirely different cut, push it in all the way, turn to the left, and then back to the right. What you've done is you've just dropped all the tumblers to the cut of that new key. So you'll want to rekey each lock all over to those silver keys, and at that point the red key will just not work at that point.
Okay.
Okay. And the really good example I was taught is hang on to the smart key, the red key, and keep track how many silver keys you have. If possibly you misplace one or someone has one, you don't know if they've made a copy, you still have the opportunity to come home and put your silver key in and rekey all the locks back over to the red key. At that point you can throw all the silver keys away and you can go get new silver keys and rekey all the locks as many times as you would like. Okay.
And that works on all the doors?
Correct.
Garage door?
Not on the garage door itself, but on the fire door coming from the garage into the home.
That's what I meant.
Okay. So other than that, any other questions that you guys have for me?
No, everything's perfect.
Good. Well, thanks for letting us work so hard for you.
Thank
Congratulations.
you so
and
much.
good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you, man.
Thanks.
Thanks.
I'll let you guys wander around. We're going to get everything emailed off and
Great.
And then we'll go to close.